First, we're going to Glyndbrn Opera House in East Sussex, where the costume department has discovered how useful the garden could be.
You can create all kinds of natural dye colours from plants and flowers.
Colours harnessed from nature have unrivalled depth, and not only that, natural dyes don't harm the environment.
My name's Andrea, and I'm growing plants that can be used, either the leaf or the flower or the root, that can be used to create colour for the costume department.
I'm Jenny, I'm the dye room supervisor in the costume department. I dye, print, paint and break down costumes for all the operas here.
The first opera was held here in 1934, but the dye garden is a much, much newer addition. What we've done over the last couple of years is to actually have all of the productive garden in one space. We've got vegetables and cut flowers and herbs and the dye garden all growing within one fenced area.
And I know where to find Andrea when I need her now, because she's all in one place. I came up with the idea about doing the dye garden when I'd been on this course for a weekend about natural dyeing, and we were taught about how the land and the plants are all involved in one cycle, and I thought, why can't we do this here?
The first two plants that I'd planted out were madder and the dyer's chamomile, the Cota tinctoria. The dyer's chamomile was doing beautifully. There were so many flowers on it, so that was really the first thing that we harvested that Jenny could try.
We realised we were onto something.
Here we've got the marigolds, which produce orangey shades of colours. And one of the reasons that I love growing these is because they deadhead really easily. And you can just keep going, deadheading them throughout the entire season, and they keep flowering, they keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So if you just keep deadheading them and drying the plants, then by the end of the year you've got quite a large amount of them. In this bed we've got the weld, which is one of the three key dye plants. So you've got the woad, the weld and the madder, which produce blue, yellow and red. And so this is the weld, which is the yellow producing one. It's a biennial, so you have the leaves in the first year and then you'll have the flower stalks in the second year. When they've got the flower on is the perfect time to cut them for the colour, and they produce just such a beautiful, vibrant yellow. It's absolutely amazing. So what I'll be doing with these shortly is just cutting them down at the base, tying them up in bundles and hanging them up to dry. Here we've got the Japanese indigo. So these, you use the leaf to produce blue colours. You can get maybe 2 or 3 harvests if you cut them early enough. The Japanese indigo is Persicaria tinctoria, and the tinctoria in the name is a really good clue that it's a good dye plant. There's a number of the plants that have tinctoria or tinctorum or something related to that, which means it's used for colour, it's used as a dye plant. So one of the things that we've been working out is exactly how much of everything I'm growing and what works well in terms of harvesting as well. So one year I grew a Coreopsis tinctoria called mahogany midget, which was beautiful, just a mass of these really deep red flowers. And I think they produced quite a nice colour, didn't they?
Yeah, beautiful orange.
But the flowers were tiny and I could easily spend all day just sitting there picking the flowers and end up with maybe less than half a bucket. And I said to Jenny, this isn't going to work. So part of what we're trying to establish is what works well for both of us.
We've often found it, we go to rehearsals for each opera, and we often find each other in the garden while we're having our picnics. And Andrea will say, what bits were naturally dyed? And I'll say, that T-shirt on the left, that man on the left, he was wearing, and she's like, oh yeah, I saw that. And then those blouses on the right. We're in in the dye room in the costume department, and we're using all the flowers that Andrea has brought to us from the garden. There's all sorts of colours, and they come out on different fabrics in different ranges. So you get really, really bright on some fabrics and not so bright on others. This is Weld, which is really bright yellow. And I also like the dahlias. They're very orange. Different types of dahlia gives us different types of orange. A lot of the paler tones were used in Carmen for a dusty desert look. But for the wreckers, there was a lot of yellows.
This is where I dry all the plants. It's actually our propagating unit that we use in spring for the seed sowing, and then once all that's gone out, I can take over with the flowers that I'm harvesting through the summer. So what I'm doing is laying them all out in trays. During the summer, when it's really hot, they can dry within a day or a couple of days, but at this time of year, when there's a bit less sun, it can take like over a week. The colour from the dyer's chamomile is, as you'd expect from looking at the colour of the flower, it's a really good yellow, hopefully. Hopefully Jenny will love it.
So I'm just putting some marigolds to boil up a bit. Once I finish boiling up, I strain them all out and put them into another vat that's clean and put my new fabric in to do the sampling. This is a piece of silk that will be simmered for about an hour, and then it will be washed out, left to dry. This is looking really good. It'll be even stronger by the time it's finished. And it's a lovely piece of silk, so it'll be really glimmery and shimmery when it's finished. My hopes for the future for this are that it just grows and grows, and we use the dyes more and more and more, and I use my chemical dyes less and less and less, and we be more environmental about it.
I feel that what we've done is really exciting, and actually I'm really proud of how far we've got. Maybe once, you know, eventually Jenny and I won't work here anymore, but it will still be here. It will still be an established thing that's just accepted about the way we do things.
I think we're just really lucky we met each other because I didn't know that there were any gardeners that had any interest in natural dye when I came up with this thought.
And I didn't know that there was even a dye department. I just assumed that the costumes were brought in the colours that they were meant to be.
So we've all learned something.